Hey all, Yab Nation here. Uh, I've been gone for a little bit, and I really wanted to make this video to answer one question that's been on my mind for a while. Am I truly living? I don't mean that like, no. This is gonna be a normal Yab Nation video, but the background's gonna look a little different. I'm gonna be more personal, me and you. I really want to do this for a while. Actually, was gonna do the same video concept, and I had something recorded, but I just didn't think anything was right about it, especially with the camera quality. But whenever you specifically asked me to do this like this, saying that the really bad webcam quote adds character. So I thought that we would do this. Reason why I'm wearing the hat is after my one of my favorite books, Catcher in the Rye, and I think that I look just like someone whose life I am living, if that makes any sense. I am living life right off the gate. Take off the fucking stupid hat, but yeah, I am living. Um, I know that a lot of people have their own kind of definitions of what is living. To me, waking up every day and experiencing something different every day is living. Even if you go through the same monotonous schedule, such as I, as a second year college student, currently studying mechanical engineering, I have the same schedule almost every day. I wake up, I get ready for school, during the weekdays at least. Get ready for school. I go to school. I go home. I eat, and I usually spend most of my time on my computer playing video games or conversing with friends. I don't go outside that much, as you can clearly see by everything that's going on. And my webcam is very bad. I'm gonna update it later on. But yeah, I do about the same thing almost every day. Weekends are not that different. Sometimes I help my parents out outside if they need to. I like being outside, just in the backyard at least, because I have a knack for gardening. I like gardening. I'm not too good at it, so maybe knack isn't the best word, but I have a very strong interest in it. And if it weren't for mechanical engineering being so accessible, I would probably do something related to agriculture. But unfortunately, I live in a place that doesn't have much grow space, so I cannot really pursue this goal. And also, I don't know what I would do with it. But yeah, let's dive a little bit deeper into what I mean with or am I am living. I was walking home from school one day, and I just kind of waited for a second, kind of took everything in. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, I am living right now. I took I broke away from the monotonous schedule, even if it's to breathe just for a little bit. And I feel like, it's nice to remember that even if you're living such a monotonous schedule, or you don't think that your life is being lived, you have autonomy. You can sit still. You can look at the sun or the moon or the stars or the sky or the clouds or whatever's in front of you, and just think just for a second that you are truly living by doing this. It's a pretty unique gift that we all get to see, and I know that some people are blind, but they can still hear, and deaf people can still see, and such and such. And I'm getting off topic, but um, you know, it's a gift for us to feel, to look around, to experience whatever, and I think that it's worth remembering. I Yesterday was not a great day for me. I don't think I want to get into it too much, but it wasn't great. But the one thing I did remember was that, you know, it was the shittiest day I had in a while, but I still am living somehow. And hopefully next day will be better. I try to have a more optimistic attitude about everything. I'm way too often pessimistic, and I think that's just uh, something wrong with me, among other things. If you haven't seen already, or if you were one of my friends, unfortunately, has to hear what I have to say almost 24/7. But yeah, I think that you know, hopefully today's gonna be a better day. And it was. I had a good time getting up, and I lost a couple matches, but that's okay because my mortar deck reigned supreme, 1v1 me. But you know, I had an interesting conversation today with one of my friends. We were just talking about like what my interests are. My interests are niche internet culture, and we talked a little bit. And he asked me about continuing this series, and you know, I was talking about how I was gonna do one, but I wanted a better monitor and everything, or not a monitor, a webcam. And he told me that it had character, and that you know my voice was good background music. Most of you, I feel, would take that as an insult, but I 100% take that as a compliment because I expect most my voice to be background music. I don't think background noise. I don't think anyone's trying to sit down and watch me talk about something for 30 minutes. There used to be someone that would like to talk, would like to hear my voice, but they're no longer in my life now. Not that they died or anything, but you know. I constantly think that no one wants to hear what I say, which is why I'm partly doing these videos, just to prove to myself that at least one person here wants to hear what I want to say. You know, and even if it doesn't gain too much traction, I can at least take solace in the fact that I am doing this. I got a lot of inspiration to step away from doing, like the Isaac gameplay into more face-to-face from another YouTuber who does this, and I think she's pretty great at doing what she does. And I wanted to structure my video like this, but I just didn't want to watch a video. I just wanted to do this quite immediately. But yeah, I'm having fun doing this at least. But I think it's time for me to go back to the central question and add a little bit of sub questions to keep me talking for a bit and not to make me go too off topic. You know, subsection 1, I feel like, you know, if you're ever in a conversation about are you living, I feel like there's going to be a subsection that says, yeah, you're living, but are you happy? I feel like it's a pretty good answer, or a question, rather. You know, because are you really truly living if you're not happy? I think I'm happy, and to that end, yes, I am living, and yes, I am happy. It doesn't look like I'm happy now, much on my face, but I can assure you that I am relatively happy, and I'm relatively okay where I'm at right now. You can ask me again in an hour, and it'll probably change, but right now, sitting right here, talking to you here, currently, yeah, I'm pretty happy. And a lot of things can change that. I'm unfortunately not a robot, and I don't have no emotion. Although sometimes I would like to have no emotion. But you know, I'm present here, and I'm having fun doing this. At least I'm probably gonna send a draft to one of my friends just to double check this and make sure that my mic quality isn't too terrible. But or my mic quality and my camera quality. I know the camera's pretty awful. Please don't make fun of me for it. I beg. But yeah. Another subset that I could talk about is just like, you know, what is a life that's monotonous, like that's just constantly repetitive, you know? I feel like, you know, some people live their life like, you know, wake up, eat breakfast, go to work, you know, go home, watch whatever, go to bed. And they live that life basically every day. And I don't really want to be like them. Even though that I think that is a life, you know, living. I just thought of my second subsection of question while I was going on that little tangent, but let me try to finish it real fast. I would like to not live that life too much, but I can see why their life is also worth living as well. They're providing some kind of purpose. And I feel like that is a nice segue into my second question about living. Living with purpose. Do I live with purpose? I would say I do. Maybe my purpose isn't very clear yet, and to some people, I have no purpose, but I feel that everyone, including me, has some purpose, and by God, I'm going to do it. Um, my purpose is very unclear, but I like to make people laugh, and I like to do this. So it's probably going to be like a nice field goal I can shoot right into with this. But yeah, I live with some kind of purpose. I wake up every day with some kind of goal to achieve. Even if my brain stops my body from doing it, I at least have a goal that I'm thinking towards. And I feel like intention matters first, and then, you know, if all you give is intent, then you can start doing actions. And then actions, speak louder than words or whatever. But, intentions first, actions later, at least. That's how I think. To pave that point down more, I have a lot of ideas that I have not gotten to. And I will not say them there in case if one of you try to steal it from me. I have a lot of good ideas. I will not let them get stolen by somebody who can steal from me. But no, but I have a lot of ideas about stuff to do in real life, and I have a lot of things to talk about, or not talk about. Well, I mean, a lot of things to talk about here, yeah, I guess. And then a lot of a game idea. I have an idea about something I want to do in real life, and involving those shock pads. Like that you put them on your body, and then like it shocks, and it makes your arm move. Like it sends the electrical current down if you kind of thinking it. I was thinking about doing something like with that, and I was thinking about making a worse version of Monopoly where instead of paying for things, you shock yourself, which seems masochistic in nature, or sadistic, masochistic, either or, I guess you can say. But yeah, I would probably be the test dummy, so maybe masochistic would be the better answer here. But yeah, I don't act on these ideas too often because, in my own professional opinion, my mind kind of works differently from my body. I think of a lot of things that I want to do, but my body just has no energy to do them. Not that I am constantly tired, but it's like a kind of fog that happens where in my brain I want to do something, but it just kind of doesn't translate to real life because I know the steps to do it. I know how to get better at it. It's just messing up always. That's the best part about doing webcam stuff, which is a pretty interesting tangent. I can make more facial expressions, and I think that the facial expressions are pretty funny. But yeah, a lot of mental fog, and I think that's time, actually. I think I've spoken to this webcam for long enough, and I've spoken to you all long enough, and I'm pretty sure you guys want me to be quiet. So, if you haven't heard already, good afternoon, good morning, and good night. This has been Yap Nation, signing off.